Ready?
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Daddy, for those of you who prefer the more informal.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Sam.
My name is Ryan.
Antha. Welcome to a Wednesday video.
We love a Wednesday video here on the
Wednesday
Sam
video.
and Ryan YouTube channel. Ooh, I just got a cameo request. Thank you.
Oh, fun.
For those of you who have been really paying attention, those of you deep in our socials, on our Instagram, we put a little question box on both of our respective Instagrams saying, ask us a burning question.
Yes.
And we said, really go there, something you've always been dying to know. And I'm quite pleased with the questions that we got.
Yeah, I will say I still got a lot of like, what's your favorite color?
Yes.
Was not what I was going for, but blue.
Orange is mine. Favorite animal, giraffe. A lot of people were like asking about like our age difference and
Yeah,
stuff. It's like, it's really two Google
Google's
searches
away.
away and just some very basic arithmetic.
But we picked some other questions
That were
seemed
actually lit. For those of you
very
who,
interesting.
who respected the prompt.
Yeah, respect the prompt, guys.
Nice. I don't know. I feel like we talked enough. Do you just
We
want to
did.
like get right into it? Get into the
Let's
down and dirty?
Dive in.
Let's dive in. I feel like I always go first. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's just how I feel.
Okay,
so
I
want you
can
to
go first.
Great.
I'm more than happy to go first.
Liddy.
Do. This is a great first question. Lizzie is asking, I'm sure everyone is asking this, but how did you meet Ryan? And this is actually a question that I get a lot, and I realize I don't think we've ever done a proper story time about how we met. So I had a best friend at the time, and she met Ryan on the set of something, and they went on a couple of dates. I had not met Ryan at this point, but then they decided to just be friends. And she kept telling me, like, I really want you to meet him. I think you guys are gonna get along so well. I want everybody to meet, let's all hang out, it'll be great. And I was like, okay, cool. So Ryan came over to said friend's place for a game night. And I was like, wow.
You were like, wow. I mean, not to be shady, but I had already seen you on the other girl's Instagram. And I was like, who's the friend though? So when I walked in, I was like, oh, lit.
She's here.
She's at the game night.
Yeah. At said night though, said friend was acting a little weird and uncomfortable and sensitive to the whole scenario. So I, as her friend, was trying to not pay the boy any attention.
You were failing critically.
As the night went on, a lot of people ended up like going to sleep, and we ended up staying up and talking, like truly just talking, like 5 feet apart on a couch for hours. We had a great night just getting to know each other. Truthfully, for me, it was a moment where I was like, wow, I could never see this guy again. And I know that the conversation we had was supposed to happen. Then the night eventually ended. You asked for my number and said that we should continue that conversation.
Right. I mean, without getting too specific, because, you know, we do want to answer your questions, but we also want to retain some semblance of privacy. The reason that me and the friend sort of stopped seeing each other was I just didn't feel that I was ready. And the reason that I didn't feel that I was ready is because I had a lot of sort of unfinished business, unpacked baggage surrounding just some life experiences that I had had that confused me, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about them. And when I met Sam that night and when we stayed up talking, we ended up diving into shared life experiences, and we were able to grant each other clarity. And so, I mean, despite the fact that you're absolutely gorgeous and an incredibly charismatic person, I was very interested, and innocently so, in getting your number and continuing the conversation, because you were the only person that I had this outlet to be like, oh, this is like another person who feels this way about these things.
Yeah, I was also functioning under the best friend has maybe feelings for this guy goggles, but she was also telling me that she didn't. So it was a lot of she insisted
to both of us
to the both
for
of us
months
that she didn't have any feelings for him still. So it did cause some friend drama.
We had a whole conversation about like, okay, you get me, and I need someone who gets me, and also like, whoa, there's some sexual tension here. And then we were like, but the friend of it all, you know, we don't want to step on any toes. Neither of us want to be disrespectful, so we should probably keep our distance.
Yeah.
And then friend tore you a new a-hole.
Yes, and
then,
showed her true colors to you.
And then we were like, okay, maybe bye to you, and let's explore this.
Yeah.
And then we did, and now
And then
we're
we did,
dating.
and now everything's perfect. So that's how we met.
end.
That's a little bit of a long story, but I feel like, truthfully, that might be the most concise that we've ever told that story. But that is the story of how we met. We were friends for a few months, but then started dating.
Couldn't stay away.
I couldn't resist him.
From my boyish charms.
Oh no. I think we should break up.
Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I thought this was a really interesting question. It's a question sort of like to me, but very much about you. Regina asked, how does Sam handle your depression? This is just really interesting to me because I started therapy for the first time this year, and the emotionally weighted feelings that I felt my entire life, I finally was told, like, hey boo boo, that's depression.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. We're big fans of the show Big Mouth, and that gave us a vocabulary where when I can kind of feel it coming on, I always say, like, I have the kitty. In the show, characters who suffer from depression, this depression kitty shows up, and it's a giant purple cat that just lays on them
and just wants to
it's just like, you don't have to go anywhere. And that's exactly how depression feels for me. And I have been called lazy, lethargic, uninspired, procrastinator. I have been called so many names when I just couldn't that day. From my side of things, how do you handle my depression? Brilliantly. Supportive, kind, gentle, reassuring, patient. You just let it happen. But I guess I don't even know if we've ever had the conversation about, like, how does that affect you? How do you handle it?
I mean, the language is really helpful because that removes any judgment, and it also removes any fear that it has anything to do with me. Like, because I think that that's something that happens a lot in relationships. It's like, oh, the other person seems a little moody or depressed. Like, what did I do? And that could be a very easy place for me to go, but I know that you struggle with depression and we have the language to talk about it. And so I know that it has nothing to do with me. I think the other thing is kind of, as you said, just letting it happen. Like, just understanding it is something that does come in these cycles, and communicating with you. And just knowing when it's there and just letting it happen and not trying to fix it. I try to catch myself from being too don't be depressed.
Right.
Because I know that that's not helpful.
Well, and if I've learned anything from therapy, fighting it makes it worse. Like, to use another pop culture reference, it's like the devil's snare from Harry Potter. The more that you resist it, the more that you ignore it, the more that you fight it, the worse it gets, the longer it is, and the harder it comes back. And so having a partner who not only reminds me don't fight it, but also doesn't fight it herself, probably shortens its duration, actually, in the long run, which is fantastic. So I love you for that.
Oh, I love you. Josephine is asking, what's the next big goal you guys have together? I really loved this question because obviously such a big project for us has been starting this YouTube channel and working on this. So a few come to mind. I know we want to work with some friends to make a music video for you. I think that would be a really fun project to be a part of and to do together. I would love to see this channel hit 100,000 subscribers. That's a really nice goal. If you're watching this, hit subscribe. Help us get to our goal.
Smash that subscribe button!
As far as an outside of kind of career goal, a goal just for myself is to have a house.
Yeah, we want a house.
We want a house. Next
question, you guys. YouTube. Oh God. Oh, snap, Daddy. What? So many couples would cringe from this, but we're super mature. Carly asked, have y'all talked about marriage? We've had multiple conversations about it, and obviously you can't plan stuff like that too much because I don't know what my life is actually gonna look like. I don't know what our life is actually gonna look like. I mean, as is the case kind of with anything in a relationship, you need to have these conversations, plan for these things, not even in terms of this has to happen, this is going to happen, this is when it's going to happen, but just theoretically, if it did, what would that look like? We've had a conversation about kids because it's really important to me to know that the person that I'm investing a lot of time in understands that I really don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam was kind of like, I don't either. And
Yeah.
that was like, okay, cool. Because like, if Sam was like, I really want kids, and I was like, I really don't want kids, I mean, we could probably still keep dating, but the question of our
certain
future
point.
would always sort of be looming large.
Yeah.
And so it's just sort of about like, do we have the same goals? Do we have the same intentions? Yes. Okay, great. I think a theoretical understanding of what your future could look like gives you a practical reassurance about how your present is going to go.
And another reason why I think it's so important to talk about these things is to clarify expectations, like hidden expectations that might be there. Because when I was a little girl, for the longest time, I thought proposals were just truly spontaneous. And like, some might be, but more often than not, there's a conversation that happens. There are a lot of conversations that happen. A lot of couples buy the engagement ring together, or at least go pick it out together. When I was like 15, learning that blew my mind, because I was like, wait, what? It's not just this thing that happens and then like you say yes and then
Right.
you
You
figure
don't just
it all
like
out.
date someone forever and then
And then-
surprise they propose and you didn't even think about it or talk about it. But I think that's an expectation that some people have, but I also
Yeah.
think that's a reality for a lot of people of just like, well, I guess enough time's been like gone by. I guess I'll just like propose.
And, like,
and then
I
all of
don't
a
think-
sudden you're engaged and you've never had these important conversations about like the stuff
Exactly.
after that. That to me is why we discuss the future. Not to plan it, not to say this is set in stone, not to okay, you're bound to this now that you've said
Yeah.
it, but just to be like, okay, I know that tomorrow we'll be on the same page about this stuff, so I can focus more on today.
My turn. Monica is asking, have you ever been jealous of Ryan because you've wanted to be on Broadway? And then they also added no hate, LOL, sparkly heart. And I thought that was an interesting question because it actually made myself think like, have I ever been jealous? And my true answer is no. I'm a big musical theater fan, and this is not like me being self-deprecating or anything, but I think I would have to have like kind of delusions of grandeur to think like, oh, I could be on Broadway right now.
Well, in
like,
the same,
so I'm gonna be jealous of you booking Wicked.
in the
like-
same way that I would have delusions of grandeur to assume that I could just step into a producerial role at a studio
Yeah.
and make a hella salary like you do. Like
Yeah.
I don't have those skills. I don't have that training. I haven't been working towards that at all.
Like I'm very much into Broadway. Like I love Broadway. I love getting to see you on Broadway and getting to support you and sit in the audience and like know that I'm there and just like get to fully lose myself in the magic of Broadway. Big fan. But like I'm not jealous. I'm not actively jealous of my partner who has had success on Broadway. Just because that's nasty, that wouldn't let me enjoy him being on Broadway. If I was so jealous of all of his successes that like I have some interest in, that would completely take me out of the moment of like getting to see him in one of my favorite Broadway musicals and just like getting to go backstage at the Gershwin. Like I would be like green with envy, haha, Wicked. That would be so blah.
I've always sort of been with someone either entertainment or entertainment adjacent. And what I'll own is I've definitely had jealousy issues in the past. But I think that it took me a while to mature and grow up and learn the lesson that someone else's time in the spotlight doesn't dim your shine. I think that's more of a maturity thing than anything. But
Sure.
if the question is more about like, how do you handle like, you're in the entertainment business, I'm in the entertainment business, how do you handle jealousy or things of that nature? Like, I don't know if I would call it jealousy or envy or whatever. Honestly, like, I admire a lot about you. I feel like so many things come so easily to you. I feel like you handle being in the spotlight with such poise and such grace. You're not jaded by things that really make me jaded, and I admire that, and I try to be more like that. But that's not jealousy. That's
Yeah.
just having a partner that I'm that's just having a partner that I'm really proud of. The end. Not crying. No crying has happened. No crying has happened. Okay, this is the last one, right?
It is indeed the last burning question.
Okay, so this is 2 questions.
Okay.
What do you think made you stand out when someone was casting you? And do you ever feel unworthy of your job?
Wow.
I'll answer the second question first just because it's way easier. Absolutely. I have a moment of imposter syndrome in every single thing I do. I mean, this channel included. Like,
Really?
yeah, I mean, just sort of a moment of like, what did I do to deserve such an incredible life? What did I do to deserve? Now, the interesting thing is, on the antithesis of that is when I don't book something that I really want, I'm like, I so deserve this. Why can't I? You know what I mean? I think that's sort of human, because I think you have to do so much mental work about like, you are so lucky if this happens for you, that when it does happen for you, it's kind of awe-striking of just how lucky you've gotten. And luck is actually a very easy thing to doubt. So, you know, yes. And then to the first question, like, what do you think made you stand out to casting? I'm not sure. I mean, for me, I'm not afraid to bring the quirky, crazy person that I am into every character that I play just a little bit. So I might strike out looking 99% of the time, but that 1% of the time where my natural essence comes into play, where someone's like, oh my God, like that's so specific, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's the greatest secret, I think. When it really comes down to acting, it's not about trying to fit yourself around the character, it's trying to fit the character around you, and trusting that not every time, but sometimes that's going to be the thing that people are going to be like, oh, that's the specific thing that I'm looking for. One of the best acting teachers in the world, Stanislavski, said universality is in the specific, and there's no more specific way to be a character than to be yourself in that character and to occupy the character that way. And I just gave you like 2 minutes of free acting lessons right there. So, well,
we did it.
Do you feel yourself burning from these burning questions that we've answered?
We answered the questions that you guys really, really wanted to hear answers to. So if you guys have more, follow us on Instagram so you can get these little question box prompts in real time. So you have a chance of sending us a question to be in one of these videos. But also feel free to leave them in the comments of this video. Maybe as we go live with this video, we'll answer some in the comments.
Or we could do a part 2. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. YouTube.
We will see you guys in another video. Bye.
Bye, Daddy.